the Dolo effect. In fact, we hear that Indians eat Dolo like it's Cadbury. That's what a doctor in the United States has said. It's the fever pill, the headache fixer, the quick fix for cold, for sinus, post-vaccine chills, body ache, bad day blues, you name it. Dolo 650 isn't just a medicine anymore. It's become a reflex, tucked into our handbags, our kitchen drawers, our glove boxes. Dolo is our everyday shield, our go-to comfort. But here's the thing, behind the familiar white and orange stripe lies a quiet medical emergency, one that's growing unmonitored because somewhere along the way, we stopped treating it like medicine, started popping it like candy. A tweet by US-based gastroenterologist Dr. Palaniappan Manikam, better known as Dr. Pal, has summed it up quite perfectly. He says, Indians take Dolo 650 like it's Cadbury Gems. Well, it's not quite funny. Thousands responded with confessions of taking Dolo for stress, for fatigue, or simply just in case of not wanting to think twice before swallowing one. If at all they're feeling uneasy, then tomorrow they want to be fit, pop one. I could be guilty of that too. In today's world, of course, of Google diagnosis and over-the-counter fixes, we no longer ask our family doctor anymore. All we do is pop a Dolo. And that's a fact. India is obsessed with Dolo. But what's the dosage here? When do you really stop? And if you can mix it with everything else that you may be consuming? Well, doctors say it's time to start because misuse of paracetamol, you've got to reflect on what kind of medicines you take, especially Dolo, because they claim that paracetamol misuse, even something as familiar as Dolo, can damage your liver, blur out real symptoms, or worse, mask something even more serious. Before you take that Dolo the next time, please ask your doctor if you can take Dolo. Can you safely take one? What are the signs of liver damage or overdose that you should watch out for? Let me take you through our guest joining us, Dr. Mekhala Chandra, Senior Consultant, Department of Internal Medicine, Sutter Medical Center, Sacramento, California. Thanks very much. Dr. Puneet Mishra, Professor, Center for Community Medicine, AIIMS, New Delhi. Hi, Dr. Mekhala. Your take on Indians popping Dolo like candy, and what are the health side effects?
Yeah, sure. So I'm an internal medicine physician trained in US, and I've practiced both in US and in India, especially after the COVID timings. One thing I have noticed definitely in Indians that has been increasing is the use of Dolo or acetaminophen, which is the generic drug that we call it. But that's not true only for Indian population, though. It is also in US that you see there's a rise of these over-the-counter drugs because there was the scare after COVID, and all of a sudden there's this half information and awareness about these particular drugs. And one thing I did want to bring in notice is also the overuse of these drugs in children population, so pediatric population. And so what happens is when you do take a lot of these drugs, which the general population do not realize, the safe limitation is about 1,000 to 2,000 depending on your body weight. And people end up in like liver toxicity, and that can be silent initially, but then there's a lot of admissions where you see that the liver function tests have increased, and the patient itself is in like a poisoning state or presents like sepsis, like infection. So this definitely has to be regulated, the use of these over-the-counter drugs, and it has to be, in India, like DCGI has been regulating it. But that's true for also like in America.
No, doctor, if you could tell me what are the underlying conditions with popping too many Dolos. Dr. Puneet, if you could jump in on the serious side effects.
Say, if you are taking Dolo or paracetamol or acetaminophen, which is in US we call it acetaminophen, in India it's paracetamol. If you are taking in the right dosage, it's a good drug. But anything, if you take in excess or without medical prescription, it can be harmful. For example, if we talk about the paracetamol or acetaminophen, it is available over the counter in US in different strengths from 325 milligram, 500 milligram, 650 milligram. And depending on the condition, usually take it. If it is arthritis, pain, something like that, yes, 650 milligram is required. So the question here is not about the Dolo. The question here is whether you are taking it when it is really required. Are you taking in the right doses, or you are doing overdosing of the drug, or you are taking it without indication? That is the main challenge. If you are taking too much of it, yes, it can cause liver damage. The usual dose, if we talk about the adult, Usually, it's taken 500 milligram in India 4 times a day, up to 2 gram. But depending on the condition, dose may be increased a little bit more, maybe up to 3 or 4 grams. But the usual dose is up to 2 grams in adults. In pediatric, it is given by the body weight, and that is around 10 to 50 milligram per kg body weight we give to the pediatric population, and that is available in different formulations.
Right.
This drug, if taken, in excess, now it can not only cause the liver damage, but it can go up to the, if you take, say, pop up 20 tablets or 25 tablets, even it can be fatal. It can
Wow.
cause death.
Yeah.
So that can occur. Anything in excess, that is not good.
Absolutely.
I mean, why too much?
Point
Yeah.
taken loud and clear. As I'm short on time, I apologize. Thanks very much, Mekhala and Dr. Puneet, for joining us with those valuable insights.